Some news from the TSSAA came out about 3 hours ago, but there was a proposal to actually change the schedule in which softball games are played in high school sports in Tennessee. Softball, not surprisingly, it's a spring sport. I mean, you think, why wouldn't it be a spring sport? What in the world? Why would you move that? Well, the proposed change, it was to Article 4, Section 8. And they denied the idea to move the sport of girls softball to the fall semester. Okay. What the circumstance was is that the idea was that in the springtime, kind of because, March the weather isn't all that good. Certainly, in fact, I remember baseball practices at Cardinal Park in February. I mean, and we would at times be practicing in 30-degree temperatures. It's fun to make contact with the metal bat and those. It's about the only time I got a chance to play, so I kind of look forward to it. But yeah, when the snowflakes came out, that's when we stopped. That's when the snowflakes came down. But because sometimes the weather is that way in Tennessee, the idea was maybe we ought to move softball to the fall. Maybe we ought to play it August, September, when the weather is much warmer, even early October. And then it would be more of a showcase. And the participants of high school softball in Tennessee would have a better chance to get a college scholarship. There'd be more exposure. Now, I don't know, what you do in college softball, or in high school softball. I got to be honest with you here. I'm a little bit remiss here. This isn't my strong sport. I could ask Kenny Powers, who does the play-by-play of softball here on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities. But I would just point this out. The way it looks like right now with softball, the idea was, that be more exposure, more chances for a college to get. I mentioned that. But a lot of times in high school sports, what you do in the high school games means very little as to if you get a scholarship or a look from the pros or whatever or not. There is a professional girls, or it's women's softball league, forgive me here. There is a professional female softball league. It's not big money, it's not a big league, but there is one. But that's not really what we're talking about. Scholarships here to universities, colleges. And for instance, basketball, I'm telling you, basketball, what you do in a high school game as a basketball player is irrelevant in getting a college scholarship. Absolutely. It's all AAU. It's all the camps. That's what maybe they look at, look, this guy dropped 50 for Dobbins Bennett today. Oh, that's not bad and all this. But that's the extent of what it is. You don't necessarily get noticed by dropping 50 on an opponent. The perception is if you're dropping 50 on an opponent in high school basketball, well, how good is that talent that they're going up against? AAU, a camp, it's a little bit different. They get to see that themselves. Baseball is kind of that way. It is kind of getting that way. The travel teams and all that as well. That's where the talent supposedly, where the scouts, the college recruiters and all this. It's not unheard of, but, you get big time, some school puts a lot of money or has a lot of baseball prestige playing one that doesn't. You tell me. Football, there's still a little bit of what you do on the field getting you that scholarship. But even then, a lot of it is the camps that you go to and such is where you get the talent for, or where they notice the talent in prep sports. The games in prep are very, very little. Whether or not that's the case in softball, truthfully, I'm not knowledgeable enough to tell you. However, I would imagine that that's one of the reasons why they kept the sport in Tennessee in the springtime, was frankly that, the games in high school, it's for community pride, generally small town community pride. In terms of the showcase for colleges, it's 2017. That's done so many times through camps and the like, travel teams, etc. High school participation, certainly in basketball, very little to do with it. Tri-City Sports Now, telling you about all the various things. So I will tell you here, I guess, Jeremy Pruitt, we still haven't heard anything. They still haven't broken anything on that. I've been remiss in telling you one thing, and I'm still trying to figure this out, but the chances of the United States getting their first gold medal in hockey in the Winter Olympics this next year, and I love that. I like the Winter Olympics more than the Summer Olympics. One reason, hockey. Miracle on Ice. But also, you know why? The hockey that is played in the Olympics, it's better rules than what you see in the NHL. The rink is wider by 20 points. Yeah, they count up instead of count down. That's irrelevant. I guess I would like it on the shootouts if you couldn't just send TJ Oshie on there all the time. But the idea, you don't have quite, there's more room to skate, show the natural talent, the speed, that sort of thing of the players, rather than the trap, the goonery that sometimes permeates certainly the Canadian influence of the NHL. Anyway, you've heard about it. I'm not breaking any news. Russia was banned from the Winter Olympics by the IOC. They may have some individual athletes, but Russia will not win any medals. And so the idea there is that Russia will not field a team in the Winter Olympics in hockey. Now, Russia, and they were called the unified team back then, truthfully has not won the gold medal in hockey since 92. It's a unified team. Before that, it was the Soviet Union, and they won it, and they won it a lot. In fact, they dominated. The Americans won it in 80, Miracle on Ice, that. 60, that's a team that just nobody talks about. The gold medal 1960 Americans. I don't know why nobody talks about it. There was a 50-year drought for the Canadians from 52 to 2002, winning the gold medal. Mario Lemieux led that team in 2002. Since then, the Canadians have pretty much dominated. 2010 was really exciting when in the gold medal game in overtime, Sidney Crosby scored the game-winning goal. That was quite memorable. And the Canadians won the gold. So, but now I think that the route for the Americans just improved a whole heck of a lot. Hockey really growing in terms of participation and all this. There's almost as many participants, there might be as many, I think, participants, hockey players now in the United States as in Canada. That wasn't always the case. And although we don't quite feel it in the Tri-Cities, this is why I say new arena, got to build a rink. Let's get this sport going on there because it's big in Atlanta. There's a lot of participation there. There is actually a Predators Cup. There is a Tennessee State Championship for hockey. There are teams all around the state except the Tri-Cities. We're behind the times. There are teams, rinks, Asheville, Knoxville, Roanoke, got the BMS, okay, you can go ice skating around in a circle, but I'm talking hockey, real teams, right now. None of this Chance the Rapper not knowing what the sport is, okay? I mean, this is that skit from Saturday Night Live. No, this is, what's going on. Anyway, the American, I just wonder, could that IOC Russia ban from the Winter Olympics by the IOC make it that much? I do think it's that much more likely for the Americans to win the gold medal in South Korea this upcoming year. And if that happens, could there be, like there was when the gold happened in Lake Placid, such renewed interest in hockey that there will be, you know what, maybe we ought to build a rink around here. And then I'm telling you, that'd be the most cosmopolitan thing if you build it right. You could have a new arena for ETSU, which could restore them to a national ranked men's basketball status again. You could have an ECHL team, if done right, in the Tri-Cities, something that Roanoke, Knoxville, and Asheville would not have. And you would have, concerts that would come in that haven't before. They're not coming to Freedom Hall. I know Elton John was there last year. That was an aberration. Big-time concerts coming in again. Videos shot again like they were for Aerosmith. I mean, it would be great. Absolutely great. Maybe, just maybe, the Russians' loss could be the Americans' gain, and that could have a trickle-down effect to the Tri-Cities that could get the new arena that the area so desperately needs. And then you'd be thinking cosmopolitan. You wouldn't be thinking high school, Appalachian League. Don't pick on the Bucks. They're a new program. People don't even look at what's going on at KSU. All right, I'm Marky Bilson. Maybe tomorrow we'll know who the football coach down in Knoxville will be. Colin Coward's on deck. He's coming up next. I'll see you tomorrow at noon, Facebook Live and on 1420 Tri-City Sports Now.
WEMB Irwin, 1420.